York's classic rock, Q1043.
All right, welcome back. Jonathan Clark in the studio with The Darkness, or at least 50% of The Darkness. We've got Justin Hawkins and we have Rufus Taylor. But are you really Tiger? I mean, what do your friends call you? Because I see this Rufus Tiger Taylor. But
So a couple of friends call me that, but not really. It's mainly Ru.
Oh, okay.
It's Rufus Tiger Taylor.
Ru.
That's what my name is.
Okay, so you guys are going to be coming our way. Thank God. It's been way too long. Brooklyn Steel, April 20th. Starland Ballroom, April 21st. All the tour dates at thedarknesslive.com or thedarknesslive.com.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Let me hold up the album here. This is fantastic. The new album
so good.
is Pinewood Smile, and I want to get to this new album, but I read that there is a film being made on The Darkness. Is this true?
Yes, there's a documentary being filmed.
A documentary, if you will.
Brilliant.
That is great. This is why he's in the band,
That's
right?
it.
Always thinking.
Always.
The documentary. But film sounds a little more like prestigious, right?
It does,
as
yeah.
opposed to documentary.
Yeah, that's true.
So 250 hours of footage so far, I read.
I think
somewhere.
there's more now.
Is it more
yeah,
than that?
Yeah.
Does this go back?
I think that upwards of 250.
Does
definitely.
Does it go back to like 2003? Do you have like
yeah,
all
there's
this?
some archive footage, but they've been filming us for 2 years.
Yeah.
They're not here at the moment because they're with somebody who's rather famous and they're talking about us.
Ah, really?
So they're off filming something else.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So will the rating be G or PG-13 or R?
I don't know what those letters mean. What's
G is general, good for all audiences.
No,
Definitely
won't be
not
that.
G.
It won't be that one.
PG-13 is a little more like intense.
I don't think it's going to be that one either.
No.
See, on the album here, this is very important. This sells a lot of records. Parental advisory lyrics.
It does help.
As soon as that sticker goes on, that's 1 million albums right there.
I didn't think of that before. We should have put 2 stickers on there.
There you go, 2 million. Justin, you said something about this. As soon as Permission to Land came out, you knew that album was going to be a smash. The next one, maybe not so much of a smash. The band would break up, and then you would reform off to stardom. I read that somewhere. Did you say that?
I'm not sure about the off to stardom bit at the end. I think I said the reformation would be magnificent.
Oh, okay.
Or fabulous. What did I say? It was one of those flowery words.
So you were a soothsayer, is what you're saying.
I am East Anglia's premier soothsayer.
Ah, okay. Yes. And this is maybe documented in the documentary.
Well, probably. I did used to say that a lot. I mean, the thing is, it was quite obvious what was going to happen. You know, the trajectory was written in the stars, and we could all see it quite clearly. You know, it was always going to be. I Believe in a Thing Called Love was going to be a hit. That meant the album was going to be a hit, and it's all downhill from there.
Except for now, because you're coming back on tour and you got this great new album. I know absolutely nothing about English football. Are you a fan?
Yeah, we like football.
Okay, so who's your team, and who should Americans try and watch if they can in America?
I don't know. I think we like Manchester United, but
But
I think if you really want to get into the grassroots of football, it's worth watching Norwich City.
Okay.
See them ballooning around.
Oh, okay.
What else is good? I mean, I don't know. Barnet was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The guys who are making the documentary made another documentary about Barnet. It was called Underhill, and it was about them sort of trying to stay in the league and trying to keep their stadium. And it's sort of all about the characters around the club and stuff. It's really quite heartwarming. So we like Barnet because of that. But struggling, you know, backs to the wall football is as much fun to watch as Galacticos.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Football sometimes, you know.
His name is Justin Hawkins. We've got Rufus Taylor also from the band. It is The Darkness, the new album, Pinewood Smile, coming to Brooklyn Steel, April 20th, Starland Ballroom, April 21st. This new album, you worked with a guy that has a pretty good track record, pretty huge albums with the Foo Fighters and Muse. His name's Adrian Bushby. What did he bring to you guys that you say hadn't had before? I mean, I told you before, as soon as I heard this album, it was like knocking me back on my feet. It sounds so great.
Yeah, he's quite an aggressive mixer. I mean, everything he records sounds on point, doesn't it? And it's super in your face. The stuff we recorded was all bass drums and rhythm guitar all at the same time. I was
So
doing,
live.
Yeah, pretty much
all live.
Nearly all of it was
Yeah.
live. And then we had like a couple of weeks of overdubs after that. But there's no click tracks, no metronomical guidance
Metronomes,
whatsoever.
Tick, tick,
So any
tick.
sort of fluidity in the tempos is coming from the band working together.
Yeah.
And
Gives it a live, organic.
yeah,
feel
it's
to it,
it's an organism, and hopefully
Like they used to do.
An organism.
as opposed to an orgasm.
Rufus, you toured with Queen and Adam Lambert tours alongside your dad, Roger, and you would have these drum battles.
Yeah.
I did not see the show, but I'd read a lot about it. And at what point of the show was there? You guys were having like a drum off kind of thing, or?
Yeah, we basically he would have a drum kit set up. Well, I'd play These Are the Days of Our Lives on the main kit, and then he'd sing that. And then whilst all the lights are down for that track, someone would build a second drum kit at the end of the B stage, and then he would sort of towards the end of the song make his way towards that, and then kick off with a short solo, and then sort of point to me, and I'd do a little one. We went back and forth a few times, and then at the end, I think he said, "What did he say?"
He's a chip off the old block.
Yeah, something like that. Like, wanker.
Something
like that.
Something real daddish, I guess,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Was there any
No,
other?
I bet he said, "I've taught you everything I know." No, that's not it. I've taught you everything you know, but not everything I know. Sorry,
Was there
your dad,
ever-
it's your dad, Roger Moore?
Was there? Oh God! Was there ever any other career choice for you? I mean, did you actually entertain not being a drummer at one point in your life, or?
No, it was always my choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
From a very young age. That
Really?
was always what I wanted to do.
Did you get like a small kit at the age of like 5 or 4 or something like that to go crazy on, or?
When I was 12, I got given a small kind of jazz setup for my 12th birthday, and that just blew my mind for so many years. I was just, spent many years behind that thing, and that was when I started taking it seriously. But before that, it was just, I was lucky enough to have a lot of drums around the house.
Of course, yeah.
So
One would think.
I just sit behind those.
The Darkness, big fans of Queen. Your father used to take you to see them when you were a small boy, right? I mean,
The Darkness.
yeah.
He actually wasn't me. He actually took my two of my sisters, but I've always been a fan, and so have my whole family actually. Yeah.
So how did this happen, Justin? How did you get this man in the band?
There's a bloke called Pete Malandrone who is Brian May's guitar tech.
Okay.
And just after we appointed the previous drummer, he contacted us and said, "Oh, by the way, guys, you should think about Rufus. He's really talented. He's always may I?
Yeah.
He's always he said these are. I'm paraphrasing to a degree, but he said, he's a brilliant. He's really talented. He's a great drummer. Really nice. Really good laugh, and he's probably off shagging supermodels somewhere at the moment." Which was obviously Pete's perception of Rufus's life. But it was too late at that point, and then so he was always in the back of my mind. And then when it wasn't working out with Emily, who played on my last album, I just thought, well, it's obvious choice.
Yeah.
So we contacted Pete and made it happen. Then Dan called up Rufus and summoned him,
Yes.
and he was on holiday, right? In Australia, shagging supermodels. On a shagging supermodels excursion to Australia, and then he came back and played with us at the Gibson showrooms in London when we launched the last album.
Yeah.
So he sort of learnt the new material on the way back. We had a quick rehearsal, met up for the first time, and then played a gig on the same day.
Wow.
After
That's pretty good,
24
Rufus.
hours in
Yeah, it was
the
a
air.
pretty Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
moment,
that's
wasn't
like,
it?
yeah. I mean, but so when you guys did that, was it right away that you felt like comfortable with these guys that just fit right in the pocket?
I mean, they were immediately made me feel comfortable. They were really easy guys to get along with, and I instantly got on with Dan on the phone when I first spoke to him, and but yeah, they made it very easy for me to just settle in. I mean, I was a
What was the joke?
bag of nerves.
There was a joke on the phone, wasn't
Oh
there?
yeah, Dan said he said, "Hi, it's Dan Hawkins from The Darkness." And I went, "Oh, holy shit!" I didn't know that. And he goes, there's a new vacancy round the back. And I said, oh, I love it round the back, Dan. And he was like, yep, I think we're going to get on.
Oh, man. But musically, when you got in a room and started playing with these guys, did you know a bunch of their songs already, or did you have to actually like learn the catalog?
I knew a bunch. I'd never played them, I've got to be honest, but I knew the songs well, you know, of all the Permission to Land ones. I'd listened to many times, but I think I was a bag of nerves when I met them, because it was, you know, we had a gig that night and I still wasn't sure if I'd learnt the songs off the last album enough, and so I didn't want to screw it up for them, you know, because it was a press gig as well. It was
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about that. You shouldn't worry about those things, you know.
It's
but
they
all
made
the
me
journalists
are drunk on those things,
it.
isn't it?
But as soon as we rehearsed, we had like an hour's rehearsal or something in a room as soon as I landed, and it definitely was clear that we played together nicely, you know. It was, something clicked, you know.
Yeah. Well, it sure sounds like it on the album, which is called Pinewood Smile, and it's your first album with the guys.
It is.
And coming to Brooklyn Steel, April 20th, Starland Ballroom, April 21st. The album sounds absolutely amazing, guys. So congratulations on that. I mean, it's on repeat on my phone. And now the video for All the Pretty Girls is hilarious, and I would expect nothing less from The Darkness, but I want to ask, where did you shoot that video?
That was all shot in Cornwall.
Oh, okay,
in England.
And what time of year was that?
It's summertime.
Not long ago.
But I'd say it was July, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
June or July.
And
Can't remember.
It wasn't long ago. I think it was more July. I think
it's all such a
blur. So it's this summer. So what's the water temperature like there in Cornwall? I mean, is it
not the warmest?
Yeah, I mean because
it was also really sunny. There was a few really sunny days. Like, it gets really beautiful. If you ever get the chance to go there, I'd definitely recommend it. It's the best part of England.
Your bro Dan got up on a surfboard
did genuine surfing all on his own. And
surfing and took a guitar solo.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So that I'm assuming that was not a 58 Gibson Les Paul that he was taking into the ocean.
No, it was a 53.
Oh, God.
That's good.
50,000, 100,000, you know.
Because they float better. Those 58s, sometimes they're... Well, they're not changed.
Well, we tested them and they just sank straight away, didn't they?
Yeah. So
come on, that was a throwaway guitar.
We needed to get one with an F hole in it, so at least there'd be like a water bubble if the
Every
worst.
Guitar player will cringe.
Danny, I mean, he is such a great surfer that we're not worried about it.
Yeah, he got right up and boom, fantastic. I was waiting for a dog to jump on the surfboard too, you know.
Yes.
You ever see those videos?
Then the video would have gone viral, wouldn't it, and made local news.
It's The Darkness in the studio with us.
In fact, we did make local news, didn't we?
Did you really?
Because we went
Cornwall?
because we went to the music shop to buy the 58 Les Paul, and which they'd sold out of, so we had to buy the slightly more expensive 53.
Yeah.
Because we bought it and said that we were going to throw it in the sea, which, you know, that's an expression that we use a lot. It doesn't.
Right, exactly.
We're not literally going to throw a guitar into the sea. Right. I mean, I love Neptune.
Unless you're Keith Moon or Pete Townsend, or you know.
I worship the aquatic gods, but there's no way I'm giving them a guitar that's worth upwards of £75,000.
Yeah.
So we got in the paper, and then the local paper said, "Band comes to music shop to buy guitar." Shocker. And that was the headline. And then it was like people were like, throw it in the sea. Well, I hope somebody called the police. And people got really upset about it. Oh, come on,
God.
Guys, please, we're making.
You weren't like slaughtering it like a pig, like, you know. I mean, like.
Well, no, that's the follow-up single. But,
yeah. The Darkness is the band. The new album is Pinewood Smile. Justin Hawkins and Rufus Taylor with us. They will be coming to Brooklyn Steel April 20th and Starland Ballroom April 21st. How was touring with Guns N' Roses? Was that the first time?
No, we played with Guns N' Roses
back in the day, right?
Yeah, we played twice before. Once at Rock in Rio and once a show in Mallorca.
Oh, wow.
And it was a totally different experience to those ones because now it was, obviously Slash and Duff and like much more like what you'd call a glorious lineup.
Right.
And they were
the original.
Really great, weren't they? I mean, it's like, he's singing great and the songs sounded brilliant and it was just
kicked
awesome to watch. We watched the whole show in Zurich, didn't we? And
yeah.
just really good.
And I've read you've gotten a little into Appetite for Destruction recently. You've sort of started re-listening to that. Or?
Oh, I love Appetite. I've always thought that was one of my favourite albums. Really.
Yeah.
Isn't that
You did say it
did I?
recently. You were re-listening to it.
But yeah, because I never realised quite how important Izzy's work is.
Yeah, that's
right. Yeah.
I mean, I just think that he's like the Malcolm almost, and, because obviously Slash has got a really distinctive way of playing, and he uses his the rhythm pickup, doesn't he,
right.
for solos a lot of the time. And the other guy is just he's like a punk. He's like I don't know, Steve Jones in the other speaker, isn't he? And the way that album's recorded, it doesn't sound like a sort of luxurious, multi-layered, 80s hair band.
No,
thing.
definitely not.
It's way more punky, and I hadn't appreciated that at the time.
Yeah.
Even though Appetite was the first album where I actually bought the tablature and learned the stuff note for note.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first album I ever did that for.
So if you were stranded on the beach in Cornwall, that would be in your top 10?
Well, I reckon it probably would, actually.
Yeah.
It was one of the greatest
Rufus,
albums of all time.
how about you?
Yeah, I'd put that in the top 10.
What else?
What else?
Little AC/DC?
GNR, Lies, Spaghetti, Incident, Use Your Illusion, 1 to 2, Chinese Democracy, and all the other stuff.
Yeah, there's 6 or 7. It is The Darkness. Justin and Rufus, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Everyone go out and buy the new album, Pinewood Smile. It's got the parental advisory lyric on it, so that means you have to buy it. And they will be at Brooklyn Steel, April 20th, Starland Ballroom, April 21st. Guys, always a pleasure. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
New York's classic rock, Q1043.